Hey everybody, I'm just going to show you real quick the craft that we're going to be making at Cherub Choir today and a brief run through on how to do it. So we're making jingle sticks. They are not going to be covered in this ribbon because, well, I just didn't have time to hot glue the ribbon to each stick. So if the kids want to, I mean, we could let them color their sticks. But these are skewers. You'll be able to tell the end that is nice and smooth, and then the end, I don't know that you can see this in the video, but the end that has been cut. So what I want to do is the end that's a little bit more raw and the end that's been cut, that's going to be the top of our jingle stick. Each kid's going to get a bag. It should have 5 bells in it and 5 pieces of ribbon, unless I miscounted. And what you can have the kids do is start putting the ribbon around their bells. Now, I'm gonna try to set this down. I couldn't find my little stand for today, but I will tell you a trick of the trade. The ribbon typically has its own kind of curl when it's been curling around the spool. And so if you take the ribbon and it's curling inwards towards you and you string your bells that way, is probably going to be, oh, this bell might be a little bit more hard. That's a little tight right there. So the kids may have some trouble with some of these. I know that the ones that I had done here, like this big bell, was really easy because there's one like large bell and then there's 4 of a smaller. But if you put your ribbon through the bell the way that it naturally curves, it's going to kind of come upwards instead of going down into the bell. So all we're going to do is we're going to take these 5 bells on their ribbon and try to even out the ribbon on the bell so that it's nice and you got the same amount of ribbon on each side. So, and then you're going to take and you're going to tie them onto the stick. Now, you do need to double knot. You also do need to make sure that you're pulling pretty tight, or else it's just going to kind of slip down the stick. So you're just going to take, and I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to look at the camera while I'm doing this, but you're going to take your bells and just tie them on the stick, and you want them all kind of up at the top, so you should be able to like adjust them a little bit up there. And you're just going to tie all 5 of them on, and then that will be the jingle stick. So like I said, just make sure that you are double knotting these on here so hopefully they don't slide off. And then once we are finished, so see that bell's a little far down, but I'll just push that one up. There's one big bell, like I said, so that one doesn't really matter where any of them go, to be honest, but that big bell will be probably a little bit easier for them to string, just because I think the opening is a little bit bigger on it. If I had time, I would have gone through and strung all of the bells on the ribbon, but I just did not have time to do all of that today. So, and then the kids wouldn't have really had any challenges to overcome today, because I don't know how many of them are going to be able to do all of this tying, to be honest with you. That's going to probably end up being a leader thing, but like I said, double knot all of the ribbons on there. And then once you've got everything on there, you have your jingle stick. If you want to curl the ribbon, you could curl the ribbon, but to me it looks fine the way that it is. And like I said, they could color their stick. We could put some crayons or maybe some markers out and they could color theirs. But this is our craft for tonight, jingle sticks.